Welcome back to the Motown Breakdown. I'm Jack D'Angelo.
I'm just Mavinak.
And I'm Victor Lagenza.
So we'll just start out talking with the Lions. So biggest news, I think, recently, John Kaminsky retired.
Yeah.
Longtime Lion. So what are we thinking about that?
Go ahead.
I honestly, I can't understand why he retired. Because, he did go through a lot of injuries during his time. But, that dude was a beast. 2 years ago, when we had, no D-line, it was a Leem and him on that D-line.
Yeah.
Ooh, it was nasty.
I mean, it wasn't medical retirement, so I think he was probably advised by his doctor that he should probably just give it up. His time is done. But overall, I mean, I think he would still have it in him if he did it. But of course, I'm not a medical professional, and I don't think I ever will be. So, I'm a little sad about it. I'm a little bit sad about the news. He was one of those guys that, I said this before, but he's one of those guys that comes through on a big play, and I'm of course gonna miss him.
Yeah, and I hope we get some kind of more detail about this because I think 2 years ago or last year we learned that Amon-Ra was playing on a torn oblique.
Mm-hmm.
The muscle was basically completely off the bone. So I don't know if John was playing something through that, but
I think he probably just got old, and his doctor said it's time to give up.
And it was also he tore his MCL in 2024.
Yeah.
And he didn't play at all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that sucked because I don't think he played at all that season.
Yeah.
Because he tore it in training camp.
Yeah, I think I saw that online.
Yeah.
And I think he also knew maybe he was going down in the depth chart. He probably wasn't going to play meaningful minutes anymore.
Yeah.
So
I feel like he could have.
He could have, but
honestly, before the what was it? The Zedarius trade, or was it Zedarius? Yeah, it was
probably.
Before the Zedarius trade, he was getting valuable minutes.
Yeah.
And valuable reps. Because that dude,
he was out wasn't he out for the season? Last season?
John? Yeah.
Okay.
He was. But he was going to. That one season 2 years ago, he was going off.
All right. So we can move on to the, more prevalent question, which is talking about the draft. I mean, I think we'll probably have one more episode before the draft. But
yeah, most likely.
we can talk about our predictions for this. I think it's kind of unclear right now because we've got a lot of corners, and I mean, not to, be rude, but anybody who thinks that we should get a corner, I'm a little questionable
They don't
on
know
your
their
on your
stuff.
knowledge.
I think we get a third string edge.
Third string?
Third string edge. It's like a back.
What are you talking about, bro?
Not third string. A third edge. A third
We
edge.
need an impact player.
Third-
Okay, I understand.
A third edge.
Where's the second edge at? Because Darius is gone, and then we can have a full conversation about that too. But I think edge would probably be the best, option to do. But somebody who is going to be on that other side with Aiden Hutchinson, not some guy who's going to develop.
But I don't think there's any I know Jack Sawyer and I know Mike Green, they're good. I don't think they're going to make an impact right away. They're not going to make an impact Hutchinson did.
No.
Right? I think
but they're not, it's the 28th,
29th.
Is it 20?
28.
28.
Okay.
28.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think that we should get an edge, but I think maybe alignment of some sort too would be good.
Yeah. I'd be down with Mason Graham.
Mason
Graham out of
I don't know if
Michigan.
he's gonna fall that far.
He's
though.
not.
He won't. He won't.
He's not going out of the top 10.
No, he's not. Because, also going back to, the whole DB, getting a corner, the only one that I would be really fine with is Travis. But Travis isn't falling out of the top 5.
Yeah.
And Travis also wants to play both positions, and I don't know if that's going to be
Nobody
decent.
I would be
do
down
that.
with that. I'd be down with him going both ways.
I would like to see it, but I don't know if Dan Cable would like him playing both sides of the
Maybe.
ball.
Depends on how gritty he is. When
Okay,
it comes.
so one thing I do want to talk about, and this, I don't know if this is exactly Detroit because I don't know if he's going to fall to us, but Abdul Carter, I feel like, is a little bit overrated in this draft, and that's a hot take because I've seen him going in the top 5, and I just don't think that top 1 in the first overall, and that doesn't make a lot of sense to me because he's got issues and he needs surgery.
Yeah.
So he's not going to be an impact player right off the bat.
Yeah. I think but it's also what the team needs because remember it's quarterbacks usually go through the first like 8 picks, something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But I saw like Shador is supposed to go like maybe number I think 3 to the or 2 to the Browns, maybe, you know, depending now with the Giants getting Russell Wilson. But, you know, he's like I think I saw like the 46th best player in the draft. So it's like, you know, it all depends what the team needs.
Mhm.
But I mean, I watched him in college. He was good, but yeah, this surgery is gonna back him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something I saw was like on ESPN. He is ranked as the number 1 ranked prospect this year,
Mhm.
which doesn't like.
It doesn't shock me, but it's questionable because if he's got that issue with
Injuries.
yeah, he's got issues with injuries or needing surgery. Like that's going to take a guy out, and you need an impact player.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's no reason to like bring someone in
Yeah.
if they're not going to be an impact player right
Yeah.
off the bat.
Okay.
So-
So, I guess we'll move on to the Red Wings. I don't think there's much to say there.
No.
There's never much to say about the Red Wings.
No, there's not.
Unfortunately,
I mean,
they, as of the recording of this podcast, they just lost 2-1 to the St. Louis Blues.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big game for them because they need it for the playoffs. This playoff
Yeah.
push that they're going through, and it's just
Mm.
I don't know if there's really much that
No,
we can say about this.
It was like it's like their season. They're doing very
They're
well
just-
until the very end, and then they choke.
Yeah.
But with like 3 minutes left, you're up 1-0, and then like you give up a goal, and then you go ahead and lose in overtime. It's like
Yeah.
you get a point, but you needed 2.
Yeah.
So, I think you know they have to. I think they have like 8 games left, 9 games. They got it. They got to
It's-
pull it together. I mean, you know, you have not enough time to make many mistakes. You have
Yeah.
to be basically perfect the rest of the way.
Yeah. All right. I mean, Victor, do you have any thoughts on that one? Or
Nah,
we could just move on.
I
'cause
don't really
there's really
follow.
not much
I
to
don't
say
follow
about
the
it.
Wings.
Yeah, the Wings ain't they're not
Nah.
up to standard right now.
Moving
We'll be truthful.
on,
The
the
Pistons.
Pistons. Ooh.
Ooh,
Good.
I'm
but
loving it.
I'm
I
loving-
mean,
Though I think the NBA just hates the way that
they're-
Isaiah
yeah, they're
Stewart
turning,
plays.
They're turning a little bit into the bad boys again.
Hey.
The bad boys
and they
too.
hate, the NBA hates it.
I love JB, big JB. I mean, like I love what he's doing over in like what he's doing here.
Yeah.
I love what he's doing. Like, but I've heard a lot of things like that. The way that he's trying to push to like make them more gritty. It's when they get to that point where they're just focusing on grit. It's not. They like always lose. It feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like also that they lost 123 to 104 in Minnesota, but that was also because they just like were down guys. Like they didn't have a whole lot of people because you were already out Cade.
Yeah.
Cade didn't play. Tobias Harris didn't play. Like
Yeah. I think, you know, injuries are going to, maybe kill us in some games because it's like, without Cade, without Ivy,
Yeah. He's going
if,
through that.
yeah,
and Cade, I think I saw is supposed to be back maybe in like a week or 2, something like that before the playoffs. So, but if by that time we've already like kind of secured a spot, like, and we're already like basically the solid 5th seed with like
Yeah.
4 games left. I mean, I don't know, like, we don't need another Rose incident
Yeah.
where it's like, Cade tears his ACL and then he's
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
and it's also like they kind of just like ran out of people that like can make plays. Cause like
Yeah.
when Simone is getting 25 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
that's how you know that you're not like
Yeah.
gonna win that
Yeah.
game.
He's not dropping another
'Cause
60 game.
He shot 1 for 8 like from the field and 1 for 5 from 3. Like the heck?
Yeah.
And he had 3 points total.
Yeah.
Like
So, yeah. Well, the one thing we can talk about, very impressive, is the Cleveland game. We
That was-
That was
double
nice.
digits, beat them by double-digit points. That's it's promising.
Yeah,
So,
it is. But, I mean, yeah, I think we could play.
With Cade out, it's bad.
Yeah, with Cade out, and with Ivy out, obviously, but he's been out for a while. But like with like guys like maybe if Thompson's out, Tobias Harris is out one game, and maybe Thompson's out one game because they might be injured or they're sore. That's not.
Yeah.
yeah, but that Cleveland game was without Cade.
Yeah,
It was without Cade,
It
and
was
they won by
without-
10.
Yeah.
They won by what 11? They won by 11, and then Tim Hardaway Jr. had a game.
Mhm.
He had like 30 points that game.
Yeah.
He went off. He had like 30 something minutes.
And different guys are stepping up. Like Sasser
Yeah.
has stepped up in some
long as
big
he's not-
games.
Yeah.
Beasley
Yeah.
has stepped up in
Suspended.
games. So
Yeah.
I mean, like I really liked the Tim Hardaway Jr. signing this offseason. I really liked it, and honestly, like what he's doing now, I love what he's doing now because he is proving that he can fit perfectly on the squad. And I think that the deal, a lot of people thought that like they were gonna overpay him. I didn't. I don't think that they overpaid him at all.
no.
Yeah. No. All
So
right. So, Dries, we'll move on to your specialty, the
Ooh.
Detroit Tigers. Just before you go on your expertise tangent, they started off 0-3. They're now 2-3 at the time they're recording this podcast. That's, pretty good.
Yeah.
You can go into that
You know,
second.
tied for first in the division.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, we didn't get off to the best start. That first game, we just couldn't score. I think we were. I forget exactly. I think 1 for 15 with like runners in scoring position, which is bad. So, I think we have to. I think this team is going to be more. We're not going to have one star player. It doesn't
Yeah.
look like Riley Green's going to be the guy he was last year because we did get some bats. We did get Gleyber Torres. I know he was out. He's going to be out for a while. But like Margot, he comes in. He's going to be a good bat. But I think pitching also has done well. Especially these last two games.
Yeah.
These last two games.
That first game.
The first game was bad. I
That
think
was a struggle.
Scooble missed hit
And
one
what,
pitch.
what was that? What was the score on that one?
It was like
It was like
8.
5
the
to,
first game,
Yeah, the first game. It was like
4 to 5.
4 to 5. Oh, 4 to 5.
4 to
Okay,
5
so-
is the walk off,
Yeah.
right?
No, that was I think the second game. So like the second or
Okay.
third game.
Hold up. Oh yeah, no, that was the second. That was the second. It was walk off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think pitching, if we can just I think pitching will find its spot.
I hope so.
And but we've seen this before, Tigers teams in the past. They get off to a bad April and kind of a bad May, and they find themselves, 15, 20 games under 500. They're 10 and no, maybe like 15, 25 going into June, and they just can't get out of that hole because.
Yeah.
But I think once we've dialed in, I think the Dodgers are the best team in the baseball. So it's like, start off your season. I don't think you can go and base, 162 games off of playing 3 games away.
Against
The best
the
team.
reigning world champs.
Yeah,
so-
exactly. So,
Yeah. Also, like, what is it? Casey Miz.
Casey Mize,
Casey Mize,
yeah.
Yeah, that dude. That dude stepped up last night.
He did.
That dude. I've never really seen him do what he did. This like
Yeah.
like the level that he was doing last night. I don't think I've ever seen it in him before.
Yeah, and I think I think a lot of people were disappointed with him and Torkelson just because they would the number 1 overall picks, and you expect a lot out of them. And at the end of the day, it's like you got to think about it. It's like you're a 42-year-old adult, you're like 20, so it's like you got to give them time. But I think Mize is finding his stride. Torkelson, he's gotten off to. Everybody.
Torkelson's been
Everybody wrote him
doing
off.
well.
Everybody's like send him to the AAA or just DFA him. Get rid of him. And then he proved everybody wrong. I think. As of last night, he was batting over 400. So,
Yeah, and
he's
that's
he's
good.
gotten off to the best start. I think fans are shocked.
Yeah.
Kind of an April Fool's joke. So,
Hopefully it's not. I mean, like,
Hopefully he continues
If
this.
it was, I mean, like, please.
Because he's
don't.
certainly like kind of dampened the, we need to trade him type thing.
yeah.
So, Dries, I want to ask you, I know you are a big fan of Javi Baez. What
Ooh.
are your updated
Ooh. You know
ideas
what?
on him?
He's done well. He has done well. I think though that first series, everybody just did bad that first series besides
Yeah.
Torkelson. Like everybody did bad So I think these last 2 games though he's done. He's found the bat. I think he's watching the pitch. Like the swing is still there. Like he's always going to have
Yeah.
that hobby, like trying to smash the ball 500 feet. But I think he has a better eye this season. It's not.
Yeah,
It's still not
certainly.
perfect. You wish it could be better, but it's like he's not swinging at pitches. 3 feet out from the plate. And I saw the Dodgers try and do that, and he took a ball. So it's like, he's improved. But I do believe that, if he can just get a tad bit better with, his eye, he can be a very reliable source. He's not going to be a 330 hitter, 40 home runs, but I hope he can be at least like a 280, hitting 25, something like that.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was the Motown breakdown. Thank you.